The ocean was calm that morning. Sunlight fell gently on the surface, making it sparkle like millions of tiny stars. Below the waves, however, the world was dark and full of mysteries. Mara stood on the deck of the research ship Aurora, looking at the endless blue. She had spent years studying the ocean, but today she felt a mix of excitement and nervousness. Something told her this day would be different. "Ready to dive, Mara?" asked Leo, the pilot of the submarine. His voice was calm, but Mara could see a spark of curiosity in his eyes. "I am," Mara replied. "Let's see what secrets the ocean holds today." The Aurora was a small research vessel, but it had a powerful submarine capable of going deep into the ocean. The team had been following unusual readings for weeks. Sonar scans had shown a strange shape beneath the ocean floor, unlike any natural formation. Some called it a rock formation, but Mara felt it was something more. Descending to 3,000 meters, Leo announced as the submarine moved toward the edge of the ship's platform. The water swallowed the small vessel as it went down. Mara's heart beat faster with each passing second. The walls of the submarine shook slightly as they went deeper. Outside the glass, the water turned dark. Strange shadows moved past, and small glowing creatures swam near the glass. Mara pressed her hand against the window and whispered, "It feels like we are entering another world." Hours passed as they slowly descended. The sonar began to show shapes beneath the sand. At first, they looked like rocks, but then sharp edges and straight lines appeared. Mara's eyes widened. "There," she shouted, pointing at the screen. "That is not natural. Look at the shapes. They are too precise to be rocks." Leo adjusted the submarine's lights, and suddenly, a massive structure appeared through the darkness. It rose from the ocean floor like a giant stone monument. The walls were covered in coral and strange patterns. It looked ancient, yet there was something about it that seemed alive. Mara leaned closer. "It is a temple," she said softly. "I am sure of it. A civilization built this long before we were here." The team was silent. None of them could believe what they were seeing. Years of ocean study had prepared them for many discoveries, but nothing like this. "Let's get closer," Leo said. "We need to see the entrance." The submarine moved carefully over the temple. Large statues, half covered with coral, stood like guards. They had shapes that seemed familiar, but also strange. Some looked like humans, others like animals Mara had never seen before. The symbols on the walls glowed faintly as if the temple recognized their presence. Mara's hand shook as she reached for her notebook. She sketched quickly, trying to capture every detail. The patterns were unlike any writing she had ever seen. Some looked like waves, others like stars, and some were made of lines that seemed to move when looked at for a long time. "Do you feel that?" asked Lena, the marine biologist. "It's like the water is warmer here, even at this depth." Mara nodded. "Yes. Something about this place is different. Not just old, powerful." Leo guided the submarine closer to the temple's entrance. It was a massive doorway, tall and wide enough for several humans to stand side by side. The door was made of a strange stone, smooth and dark, with glowing lines running across it. No hinges, no handles, yet it seemed ready to open. "I wonder how it works," Leo said, trying to keep his voice steady. "Do you think we should touch it?" Mara shook her head. "Let's observe first. We need to understand it before interacting. This temple has been here for thousands of years. We do not know what it wants." The submarine hovered in front of the door. Slowly, Mara noticed the glowing symbols reacting to their presence. The lines moved, forming new patterns. It was as if the temple was alive and watching them. Mara felt a shiver run down her spine, but her excitement was stronger than her fear. "Look," she whispered. "The patterns, they are forming a shape. It looks like a key or a path." Maybe it wants us to follow it. The team studied the glowing lines. Each symbol seemed to connect to the next, like a map. Mara felt a thrill. This is more than a temple. It is a message. Whoever built this wanted someone to find it. Suddenly, the ground beneath the submarine shook slightly. The lights flickered, and tiny stones fell from the temple walls. Leo adjusted the controls quickly. It's stable, but the structure is old. We need to be careful. Mara nodded. Every ancient civilization leaves clues. If we are careful, we can learn from them. This temple, it might tell us about life beyond what we know. The submarine moved closer to the entrance, guided by the glowing patterns. As they reached the doorway, the symbols brightened, casting light across the chamber inside. Mara held her breath. The temple was larger than they had imagined. Massive columns rose from the floor, and the walls were decorated with carvings of stars, animals, and creatures that seemed to float in the water. It is beautiful, Lena said softly. Like nothing we have ever seen before. Mara smiled. And it is ours to explore. Carefully, of course. We are the first humans to set eyes on this place. Every step we take will teach us something new. The submarine's lights illuminated more of the interior. At the center, a raised platform stood with a circular symbol glowing brightly. Mara felt drawn to it. Something about it felt familiar, like a memory she could not place. Do you think this is the heart of the temple? Leo asked. I think so, Mara replied. And I believe it is waiting for us to understand it. The team spent hours observing from the submarine. They recorded every detail, sketched every pattern, and discussed what it could mean. Mara could feel the pulse of the ancient temple, a quiet energy that seemed to communicate without words. As the day ended, the submarine slowly returned to the surface. The sun was setting, painting the ocean in shades of orange and gold. Mara looked down at the water, imagining the temple glowing beneath the waves. She knew this was just the beginning. The ocean had revealed one of its greatest secrets, and humanity was about to step into a story older than the stars. Mara turned to her team. Tomorrow, we go back. We dive deeper. The temple has much to show us, and we are ready to listen. The waves whispered against the ship as night fell. Beneath them, the temple waited, ancient and patient. The ocean had kept its secret for millennia, but now it had chosen its explorers. Mara felt a shiver of excitement. This was the start of a journey that would change everything humanity knew about the sea and themselves. The next morning, the ocean was quiet. Sunlight shimmered across the waves as if encouraging the explorers. Mara and her team prepared the submarine for the dive back to the temple. The excitement in the air was nearly visible. Every member of the team felt the same anticipation. Today, they would go inside the temple itself. Are all systems ready? Mara asked, checking her notes. Yes, Leo replied. The submarine is stable. Oxygen, lights, and pressure systems are perfect. We can go deeper than yesterday. Lena, the marine biologist, adjusted her gear. I have my cameras ready. Every angle. Every detail. Nothing will be missed this time. Mara nodded. Good. Let's make this dive count. We are about to enter a world humans have never seen. The Aurora lowered the submarine slowly. The water swallowed them again, deep and mysterious. Outside the glass, shadows moved. Small glowing creatures swam near the lights, curious but not afraid. The deeper they went, the darker it became. Still, the temple's outline appeared faintly beneath the sand. There it is, Mara said. The temple is waiting. Leo steered carefully toward the entrance. This time, the glowing symbols on the doorway responded immediately. Their light grew brighter, as if welcoming the team. Mara felt a thrill. The temple seemed alive. It was not just stone. It was something more, something aware of their presence. "Do you think it knows we are coming?" Lena asked, her voice soft. Mara shook her head slowly. "I do not know. But it feels like it does. It is waiting for us to understand it." The submarine passed through the doorway. Inside, the water felt different. Warmer, calmer, as if the temple itself was breathing. Light from the symbols reflected on the walls, revealing more carvings than they had seen yesterday. The chamber was enormous, taller than any building on land. Columns stretched from floor to ceiling, decorated with patterns of stars, waves, and strange creatures. "It is incredible," Lena whispered. "I cannot believe this exists under the ocean." Mara smiled. "We are standing in history. The people who built this temple knew things we can only imagine. Every symbol, every carving is a message." As the submarine moved forward, the glowing patterns on the walls began to shift. They formed lines that looked like arrows. Mara studied them closely. "It is a path. The temple wants us to follow it. We must go deeper." Leo nodded. "Keep your eyes open. There may be obstacles or surprises ahead." The team moved slowly through the temple. The walls seemed alive. Sometimes, the carvings appeared to move slightly, shifting shapes as if communicating. Shadows danced across the columns, and small bubbles rose from the temple floor, sparkling in the lights. Suddenly, the submarine hovered over a wide pit in the floor. Mara leaned closer to the window. Inside, a staircase carved from the same dark stone led downward. Strange blue light glowed from below. "This is the path," Mara said. "The temple is guiding us." Leo adjusted the submarine to lower them gently. The staircase was smooth, almost polished. Water flowed in quiet streams along its edges. As they descended, the blue glow grew brighter. Strange symbols floated in the water like tiny lights. Mara reached out, fascinated. She felt a strange energy in her hand. "Do you feel that?" Lena asked. "It is alive." "Yes," Mara said. "The temple is alive. It is more than stone. It is intelligence and history together." At the bottom of the staircase, the chamber opened into a larger hall. The ceiling was high, covered with carvings of stars, planets, and constellations. Mara gasped. She had never seen anything like it. The patterns seemed to show movement, telling a story of life across the universe. "Look at this," Mara said, pointing to the wall. "These are not just symbols. They are records. The people who built this temple were watching the stars, learning about life beyond Earth." Lena filmed every detail. "This is proof that we are not alone. Someone else has been exploring the universe before us." The team moved cautiously. At the center of the hall, a circular platform glowed faintly. Strange carvings formed a pattern that seemed like a map. Mara knelt to study it. "This may be the core of the temple," she said. "It could tell us everything the builders wanted to share." Suddenly, the water shifted. A large shadow moved along the walls. The team froze. Mara's heart raced. "Stay calm," she whispered. "We do not know what this is yet." The shadow revealed itself as a massive statue, taller than any person. Its eyes glowed faintly, and its hands seemed ready to move. Mara realized it was not just a statue. It had a presence, as if it was waiting for them to approach. "It is alive?" Leo asked, his voice low. "Maybe not alive like us," Mara said. "But it reacts. It is a guardian. It may be testing us." The submarine hovered at a safe distance. Mara studied the patterns on the platform. The glowing lines seemed to respond to their movements. When she stepped closer, the lines brightened. She felt a strange connection, like the temple was communicating without words. "We have to be careful," Mara said. "This place is a test." The builders wanted to see if those who enter are thoughtful and brave. The team spent hours observing the hall. Every movement changed the pattern slightly. Mara realized that the temple was teaching them to understand it. Every symbol, every glow was a lesson. As they prepared to leave, Mara turned to the team. We have seen only a fraction of this temple. Tomorrow, we go further. We learn more. And we prepare for whatever comes next. The submarine ascended slowly. Outside, the ocean was calm. The sun was lower in the sky, casting golden light across the water. Mara felt a mix of exhaustion and excitement. They had touched history, and it had touched them back. Do you think we are ready for what is inside? Lena asked quietly. Mara smiled. We are learning. And that is what matters. The temple is waiting for us to understand. And we will rise to that challenge. The Aurora surfaced gently. Waves lapped against the hull as the team prepared to share their findings. The ocean above hid many secrets, but Mara knew one thing. Humanity had taken the first real step into a larger world. And the temple beneath the waves was only the beginning of a story that would change everything. The sun set, painting the ocean with colors of fire and gold. Beneath the water, the temple waited, patient and wise. It had chosen its explorers carefully. Mara knew that the next dive would reveal more than knowledge. It would reveal the power of courage, intelligence, and human spirit. The next morning, the team was ready to dive again. The ocean was calm and quiet, reflecting the sky like a giant mirror. Mara felt a mixture of excitement and determination. Yesterday, they had explored the entrance and the first halls of the temple. Today, they would reach deeper, into the heart of the ancient structure. Are we all ready? Mara asked. Yes, Leo replied, checking the submarine's controls. Systems are stable. We are ready to go deeper than ever before. Lena adjusted her cameras. I want to capture every detail. We may not get another chance like this. Mara nodded. This is more than exploration. This is learning from a civilization that existed long before humans. We must be careful, respectful, and smart. The submarine moved smoothly into the water. The world above disappeared as darkness surrounded them. Small glowing creatures appeared again, swimming alongside them like guides. The temple loomed ahead, its entrance glowing faintly, welcoming them back. As they passed through the doorway, Mara felt a strange energy in the water. The temperature was slightly warmer than normal, and the light from the symbols on the wall seemed brighter. It was as if the temple was alive and watching them. This is strange, Lena said. It is like the temple is responding to us. Yes, Mara said. It is intelligent. Not like us, but it understands us in some way. Every movement, every choice we make matters here. The submarine moved deeper into the temple. The halls were wider now, and the carvings on the walls became more intricate. Stars, planets, and strange creatures filled every surface. Some of the carvings seemed to move when the team looked closely, like the temple was showing a story. Look at these symbols, Mara said. They are not just decoration. They are a language. They are telling us something. The team stopped near a large stone tablet in the center of a hall. The tablet was covered in glowing symbols. The symbols pulsed slowly, as if breathing. Mara reached for her notebook and began copying them, trying to understand their meaning. Some of these symbols are familiar, Mara said. They look like shapes we see in nature, like waves, stars, and animals. Others are patterns we have never seen before. But together, they form sentences. Messages. Lena studied the symbols through her camera. It looks like a story. A history of their civilization, and maybe even more than that. Mara nodded. I think they were recording knowledge, not just for themselves, but for whoever found this temple in the future. They wanted to teach, to share, to warn. As the submarine moved closer, the symbols on the tablet began to glow brighter. A pattern emerged, forming a map of stars. Lines connected different points, some on the Earth, others far beyond. Mara's eyes widened. "This is incredible," she whispered. They were mapping life across planets, not just here. They knew about the universe in ways we cannot imagine. Leo leaned forward. "Do you think humans are part of this map?" Mara studied the lines carefully. "It is possible. Look here. This area represents Earth, and there is a mark near it. They may have been watching humans. They wanted to see if we were ready for knowledge and challenges beyond our world." The team moved carefully through the hall. Every step they took seemed to make the temple respond. Small lights shimmered along the walls, guiding them forward. The symbols formed new patterns, almost like a conversation. Mara felt as if the temple was testing their understanding. "We need to pay attention," Mara said. "Every detail matters. This temple is a teacher. If we are patient and smart, it will show us more." As they moved toward the center of the hall, they found a raised platform. The platform was circular, with a large symbol glowing in the middle. Mara reached toward it, and the symbol responded, pulsing brighter. A wave of energy flowed through the water, gentle but powerful. "It is reacting to us," Mara said. "It wants us to interact." Leo adjusted the submarine. "Be careful. We do not know what it will do." Mara studied the glowing lines on the platform. They formed shapes that looked like constellations. When she moved her hand closer, some symbols connected, forming patterns like a story. Mara realized that the temple was showing a sequence of events, a history of life in the universe. "This is amazing," she whispered. "They are teaching us about the rise of life, about civilizations that existed long before humans. And maybe, they are showing us the way to grow and survive in the future." Suddenly, the water shifted. Small currents moved through the hall, carrying tiny particles that shimmered like stars. The symbols on the walls glowed even brighter, forming a path leading to another chamber. Mara felt a mix of excitement and caution. "The temple wants us to follow," she said. "We cannot stop now. We have to see where it leads." The submarine moved forward carefully. The chamber ahead was smaller but filled with even more symbols. Some of the carvings appeared to depict machines, tools, and strange devices. Mara realized that this civilization had advanced technology, far beyond anything humans had today. "They were brilliant," Mara said softly. "They combined knowledge of nature, the stars, and technology. They were careful, thoughtful, and powerful. Lena filmed everything. This will change how we understand history, science, and life itself. Humanity is only beginning to learn what they knew." The team moved closer to the center of the chamber. A glowing tablet hovered slightly above the floor, its symbols spinning slowly. Mara reached toward it. The symbols formed words she could almost understand. They spoke of courage, intelligence, and responsibility. "They wanted to test us," Mara said. "Not with weapons or danger, but with understanding. They wanted to see if humans are ready for knowledge and challenges beyond our world." Leo looked around. "Do you think we are ready?" Mara smiled. "We are learning. And learning is the first step to being ready. The temple is showing us the way. If we listen and work together, we can rise to any challenge." The team spent hours in the chamber, studying the symbols, recording data, and discussing their meaning. Mara felt a deep connection to the ancient civilization. Their knowledge, wisdom, and care for the future were inspiring. As they prepared to leave, Mara looked back at the glowing symbols. "This temple is more than a building. It is a message. A lesson. And it is only the beginning. Humanity has much to learn, and we are ready to listen." The submarine ascended slowly. Outside, the ocean was calm, reflecting the last rays of the sun. Mara felt a mixture of awe and determination. The temple had given them a gift: knowledge, guidance, and hope. Tomorrow, we go further, Mara said quietly. The temple still has secrets. And we will uncover them. We will learn, grow, and rise to the challenge it sets for us. The sun set over the ocean, painting the water in colors of gold and orange. Beneath the waves, the temple glowed faintly, patient and wise. It had chosen its explorers carefully. Mara knew the journey was only beginning. The ancient message had been discovered, and humanity was ready to follow its guidance. The morning sun barely touched the ocean surface when Mara and her team prepared for their fourth dive. The previous dives had revealed the temple's entrance and the glowing messages inside, and now curiosity burned brighter than ever. Today, they would explore the central chamber, a place that seemed to hold the temple's greatest secret. "Are we ready?" Mara asked, her voice steady but full of excitement. "Yes," Leo said. "Everything is functioning perfectly. We can dive deeper than ever before." Lena checked her cameras one last time. Every angle, every light. "Nothing will be missed this time." Mara nodded. "We must be careful. The temple has responded to us before, and it may respond even more today." The submarine descended smoothly. Outside, the water darkened as they approached the temple. The glowing symbols on the entrance brightened immediately, almost as if the temple was welcoming them back. Mara felt a strange warmth in the water, and the tiny glowing creatures swam near the submarine, leading them inside. "This place feels different today," Lena whispered. "It is alive, in a way." "Yes," Mara said. "It reacts to us. It is intelligent. Every movement we make matters." The submarine moved through the halls. The carvings on the walls became more intricate with every step. Stars, planets, strange animals, and symbols of machines filled the surfaces. Every detail seemed to tell a story. Mara felt a sense of connection to the ancient builders. As they reached the central chamber, the team stopped in awe. The hall was enormous, far larger than any building they had ever seen on land. Pillars rose from the floor like mountains, and the ceiling was covered with glowing patterns that pulsed gently. At the center, a circular platform radiated a soft blue light, and symbols moved in a delicate dance across its surface. "This must be the heart of the temple," Mara said. "Everything we have seen leads to this place." The submarine hovered above the platform. Suddenly, the water shifted violently. Mara gripped the controls. A shadow moved along the walls, enormous and dark. The team froze as the shape took form. A giant figure emerged from the floor of the temple. It was a guardian, a fusion of stone, metal, and glowing energy. Its eyes shone brightly, scanning the chamber. The hands were massive, yet precise, and the entire figure radiated power. Mara realized this was no ordinary machine or sculpture. This guardian had been created to protect the temple and test those who entered. Leo whispered, "It is alive. Somehow, it is alive." "Yes," Mara said, her voice calm. "It is not alive like us, but it reacts to presence and movement. It is a test. We must be careful." The guardian moved slowly toward them. The water currents shifted with each step, and tiny lights danced around its form. Mara felt a shiver of awe and fear, but also a sense of wonder. Humanity had encountered something truly extraordinary. Lena whispered, "Do we fight it?" Mara shook her head. "No, I do not think it wants to harm us. It wants to see if we are capable, clever, and brave. We must think, not fight." The guardian stopped near the platform. Its eyes glowed brighter, and the symbols on the floor shifted in response. Mara realized it was interacting with the temple's messages. She studied the patterns carefully. Each symbol seemed to correspond to a part of the guardian's movement. "It is a puzzle," Mara said. "We must understand the patterns to show it that we are worthy." The team worked together. Mara guided Leo as he moved the submarine slowly around the platform. Lena recorded everything, and together they tried to follow the patterns. The Guardian watched, its eyes glowing like stars. Every time they made a correct movement, the symbols on the floor pulsed brighter. Every mistake caused the Guardian to shift its position, testing them further. Hours passed. The team learned to anticipate the Guardian's movements. They realized it responded not to strength, but to reasoning and observation. Mara noticed that when they worked together, using intelligence and communication, the Guardian's behavior became less threatening and more instructive. "This is amazing," Mara whispered. "It is teaching us patience, teamwork, and problem solving. This is what the temple values." Finally, the team completed a sequence that made the Guardian pause and lower its massive hands. The symbols on the platform glowed brightly, casting light across the chamber. The Guardian slowly stepped back, as if acknowledging their success. Mara felt a rush of pride. They had passed the test. Leo exhaled. "We did it. It is letting us proceed." "Yes," Mara said, smiling. "The Guardian has accepted us. We are worthy of the knowledge the temple holds." The submarine moved closer to the platform. The glowing symbols formed new patterns, revealing a path to the inner sanctum of the temple. Mara studied them carefully. The patterns seemed to show the history of the ancient builders and their understanding of life, the stars, and energy. "They left this for us to discover," Mara said. "They wanted someone to learn, someone to rise to the challenge." Lena looked around in awe. "This is more than exploration. This is history, knowledge, and wisdom combined. We are standing in the presence of something greater than ourselves." The team approached the inner chamber. The Guardian remained near the platform, calm now, watching silently. Mara realized that the challenge was not just physical but mental and moral. The temple had tested them to see if humanity could approach knowledge responsibly. As they entered the inner chamber, the walls glowed with symbols showing life across planets, the rise of civilizations, and the balance of energy in the universe. Mara felt a connection to the ancient builders. Their intelligence, care, and patience were inspiring. "This is why the temple exists," Mara said quietly. "Not to trap or destroy, but to teach. To guide those who are ready to learn." The submarine hovered over the inner chamber. Mara reached for the controls to activate a recording device. She wanted every detail captured. Every symbol, every pattern, every movement of the Guardian was important. Humanity would learn from this for generations. Hours passed as they documented the chamber. Mara realized that the Guardian was not only a protector but also a teacher. It had guided them, tested them, and confirmed their worth. As they prepared to leave, Mara looked at the Guardian one last time. Its eyes glowed softly, almost like a smile. She felt respect and gratitude. Humanity had been challenged and had risen to meet it. The submarine slowly ascended. Outside, the ocean was calm and bright, reflecting the sun's rays. Mara felt a mixture of exhaustion, relief, and excitement. The Guardian had shown them that courage, intelligence, and teamwork were more powerful than any weapon. "Tomorrow, we continue," Mara said quietly. "There is more to learn, and the temple is ready to teach. We must be ready for anything." The waves lapped against the aurora as the sun rose higher. Beneath the water, the Guardian returned to its original position near the platform, patient and watchful. It had tested humanity and recognized their potential. Mara knew that the journey was far from over. The temple held deeper secrets, and humans were proving they were ready to face them. The ocean shimmered with life above the temple, but below, the ancient Guardian waited. Its role was clear: to guide, test, and protect. Mara felt a thrill of anticipation. Humanity had faced its first great test, and they had succeeded. The adventure was only beginning, and the lessons of courage, intelligence, and respect for knowledge would guide them deeper into the temple's mysteries. The ocean was calm and quiet as Mara and her team prepared for another dive. The excitement from the previous day still lingered. The guardian had accepted them, proving that humans could rise to the temple's challenges. Now, they were ready to uncover the deepest secrets of this ancient place. "Are we ready for the final dive?" Mara asked, checking the submarine's instruments. "Yes," Leo said. "Everything is stable. We can go deeper than ever before." Lena adjusted her cameras one last time. "Every angle, every light. Nothing will be missed this time. We need to capture everything we see." Mara nodded. "The temple has been guiding us carefully. Today, we follow its path to discover its greatest knowledge." The submarine descended into the ocean. The water became darker as they approached the temple. The glowing symbols on the entrance brightened immediately, as if the temple recognized them. Small glowing creatures swam alongside the submarine, guiding them toward the central chamber. "This place feels alive," Lena whispered. "It reacts to our presence, like it is waiting for us." "Yes," Mara said. "It is intelligent. It tests us and rewards patience, teamwork, and understanding. Today, we will learn more than ever before." The submarine moved through the halls. The walls were covered with carvings of stars, planets, and strange creatures. The glowing symbols shifted as the team passed, forming patterns that guided them deeper into the temple. Mara studied the patterns carefully. "These symbols are like a map," Mara said. "They are showing us the way to the inner sanctum. Every movement we make is important." As they reached the central platform, the guardian stood silently nearby. Its eyes glowed softly, watching their every move. Mara felt a mixture of respect and curiosity. The guardian had guided them this far, and now it seemed ready to let them proceed further. At the center of the platform, a large glowing tablet floated above the floor. Its surface pulsed with light, and symbols moved across it, forming patterns that seemed alive. Mara reached for the controls to study it more closely. "These symbols are different," Mara said. "They are more complex than anything we have seen. I think this is the temple's core knowledge." Lena examined the tablet carefully. "It looks like a map of life, energy, and civilizations across planets. They knew about worlds far beyond our own." Mara nodded. "The builders of this temple were wise. They combined knowledge of nature, energy, and intelligence. They wanted to teach us, but only if we were ready." The team spent hours observing the tablet. Every symbol, every glowing line seemed to tell a story. Mara realized that the temple was showing them the history of the universe, the rise of life, and the growth of civilizations. Some symbols showed machines and tools, suggesting advanced technology that humans had not yet discovered. "They were teaching us," Mara said quietly. "Not with words, but with knowledge, patterns, and understanding. They wanted to see if humans could learn and use this wisdom responsibly." As they studied the tablet, the symbols shifted to form a star map. Lines connected different planets and stars, showing possible routes of exploration. Mara traced the lines with her finger. "This is incredible," she whispered. "They were explorers, just like us. They mapped the universe and left their knowledge here for those who were ready." Leo pointed to a glowing symbol near Earth. "Do you think they were watching us?" Mara studied it carefully. "It is possible. They may have known humans would rise to the challenge. They wanted to see if we could understand their lessons and be responsible with the knowledge they left." The tablet's light grew brighter, projecting images into the water. Mara and her team could see worlds filled with oceans, mountains, and forests. Some planets had cities, some had machines, and others were natural wonders. The builders of the temple had observed life in all its forms. "This is beyond anything we imagined," Lena said. "They were wise, patient, and careful. They left this for us to learn, to grow, and to rise to the next level of understanding." Mara realized that the temple's knowledge was not only about technology or exploration. It was about responsibility, cooperation, and respect for life. The builders wanted those who discovered the temple to rise as guardians of knowledge themselves. The temple is testing us, Mara said. It shows us knowledge, but it also shows us how to use it wisely. Courage, intelligence, and teamwork are as important as understanding the universe. The guardian remained near the platform, watching silently. Its presence reminded them that the temple's lessons were not easy. Humans had to prove themselves, not just by exploring, but by understanding and respecting what they discovered. Hours passed as the team studied the projections and symbols. Mara felt a deep connection to the builders. Their patience, wisdom, and care for the future were inspiring. Humanity had been given a gift, and it was their responsibility to use it well. As the submarine prepared to leave the inner sanctum, Mara paused to study the glowing tablet one last time. The symbols shifted to form a message, clear and simple. It spoke of courage, curiosity, and responsibility. It welcomed humans as partners in the journey of knowledge and growth. We have learned much, Mara said softly. The temple has shown us history, technology, and life across the universe. It has taught us patience, intelligence, and teamwork. We are ready for the next step. Lena smiled. We have been tested and guided. The knowledge here will change humanity forever. Leo nodded. And we have done it together. That is what the temple values most. The submarine ascended slowly. Outside, the ocean was calm and shimmering. Mara felt a mixture of awe, pride, and excitement. The temple had shared its deepest knowledge, and humanity had risen to the challenge. Tomorrow, we will return to study more, Mara said quietly. There is still much to learn, and we must be ready to face any challenge the temple presents. The sun reflected on the waves as the submarine reached the surface. Beneath the water, the temple glowed faintly, patient and wise. It had chosen its explorers carefully. Mara knew that humanity had proven itself capable of learning, understanding, and growing. The lessons of courage, intelligence, and cooperation would guide them into the mysteries still waiting within the temple. Mara looked at the horizon. The journey was far from over. The temple had revealed its secrets step by step, testing their worthiness at each stage. Humanity was ready to rise to the challenge. The ocean above the ancient structure shimmered with life, but below, the temple's core continued to pulse with energy. Mara knew that what they had discovered was only the beginning. The builders of the temple had left a legacy, and now humans had the chance to honor it. Knowledge, patience, courage, and teamwork would guide them deeper into the mysteries of the universe. Mara smiled. Humanity was ready to meet the challenge, to rise beyond its limits, and to explore the wonders the temple had protected for millennia. The ocean was calm as Mara and her team prepared for another dive. The discoveries of the temple had amazed them, but now they sensed that their adventure was moving into a more dangerous stage. The temple had shared its knowledge, but something in the depth seemed restless. Are we ready? Mara asked, checking the submarine systems one last time. Yes, Leo said. All systems are stable. We can go deeper than ever before. Lena adjusted her cameras. I want to capture every detail. We cannot miss anything. The temple may hold surprises we do not understand yet. Mara nodded. We have learned much, but we must remain careful. The temple has tested us before, and it may test us again. The submarine descended smoothly. Outside, the water became darker, and the small glowing creatures swam around the submarine as if guiding them. The entrance of the temple appeared, glowing faintly, as if welcoming them back. Mara felt the familiar warmth in the water and a strange energy that made her heart race. This place feels different today, Lena whispered. I think something is changing. Yes, Mara said. The temple is alive. It responds to us and to events in its depths. We must stay alert. As they entered the central chamber, the glowing symbols on the walls shifted rapidly. Mara noticed that the patterns were not forming their usual calm guidance. Lines twisted and moved unpredictably. The team felt a small current of water push against the submarine, stronger than usual at this depth. "Something is happening," Leo said. "The temple is reacting to, what? I am not sure." Mara studied the symbols carefully. "The energy is rising. It may be a warning. We must find the source before it becomes dangerous." The team moved deeper toward the inner sanctum. The Guardian remained at the central platform, watching silently. Mara wondered if it sensed the same threat. As they approached, the ground beneath them trembled slightly. Small pieces of stone and coral floated upward from cracks in the temple floor. "The structure is unstable," Mara said. "We must move carefully. The temple may be experiencing something natural or something it created to test us further." Suddenly, a loud rumble echoed through the halls. The water shifted violently, and the submarine rocked. Mara gripped the controls tightly. Outside the glass, cracks appeared in parts of the temple walls, and glowing particles drifted upward. "We need to stabilize the submarine," Mara shouted. "Prepare for sudden currents." Leo adjusted the controls quickly. The submarine moved carefully through the hall, avoiding falling debris. Lena's cameras captured the chaos as glowing symbols twisted in new patterns, forming shapes that seemed to warn the team. "It is like the temple is alive and trying to protect itself," Mara said. "We must act quickly." As they reached the inner chamber, the glowing tablet floated above the floor, but its light flickered. The energy around it surged, creating waves in the water that pushed the submarine slightly. Mara realized that if the surge continued, it could damage the temple and the surrounding sea life. "We must stabilize it," Mara said. "We cannot allow the energy to escape uncontrolled. We have to find the source." The team studied the symbols. Mara noticed that they formed a network of energy lines connecting the tablet, the platform, and parts of the walls. "The energy is spreading," she said. "If we can redirect it, we may prevent damage." Leo nodded. "How do we do that?" Mara looked at the glowing lines. "We must use the temple's patterns. Follow the energy paths, guide them back to the platform where the Guardian is. The temple will respond to precision and care, not force." The team moved carefully, adjusting the submarine's position and using lights to highlight the symbols. The glowing lines shifted as Mara guided them, forming pathways that funneled the energy safely toward the central platform. The water currents slowed, and the trembling of the temple decreased. "Keep going," Mara shouted. "Almost there. We are controlling it." The Guardian extended its massive hands, its glowing eyes brightening. It seemed to understand their actions and assisted in stabilizing the energy. Slowly, the currents diminished, and the glowing lines returned to calm, organized patterns. The temple's energy stabilized, and the inner chamber was peaceful once again. "We did it," Leo said, exhaling. "The temple is safe, and the energy is under control." "Yes," Mara said, smiling. "The temple tested us again, but this time it was not just knowledge or observation. It tested our courage, teamwork, and quick thinking. Humanity has proven it can respond under pressure." Lena looked around the chamber. "This experience shows that the temple is alive in ways we cannot fully understand. It responds to energy, movement, and intent. It is both wise and powerful." Mara nodded. "And it teaches us that knowledge is not enough. We must act responsibly. Courage and intelligence alone are not enough, we must use them to protect and create, not destroy." The team spent some time documenting the events. They recorded the energy patterns, the Guardian's movements, and the symbols that had guided them. Mara realized that this experience was as important as all their previous discoveries. The temple had shown them that knowledge came with responsibility. As they prepared to leave, Mara looked at the central platform and the Guardian. This is a lesson we will never forget. The temple has tested humanity's ability to handle danger and complexity. We passed because we worked together, thought carefully, and stayed calm under pressure. The submarine ascended slowly. Outside, the ocean was calm once again, reflecting the sun's rays. Mara felt a mixture of exhaustion and pride. The temple had given them knowledge, challenges, and wisdom. Humanity had risen to meet them all. Tomorrow, Mara said quietly, we return one last time to explore the remaining mysteries. The temple has shown its power, and now it will reveal its final lessons. The sun reflected on the waves as the submarine reached the surface. Beneath the water, the temple glowed faintly, ancient and patient. The Guardian returned to its watchful position near the central platform, calm but alert. The temple had tested the humans again and confirmed their ability to respond with courage, intelligence, and care. Mara looked toward the horizon. Humanity had faced a rising threat and had succeeded. The lessons of teamwork, observation, and responsibility would guide them as they prepared for the final discoveries within the temple. The ocean shimmered with life, but beneath, the ancient structure waited. Its secrets were nearly revealed, and Mara knew that humans were ready to unlock them. The temple had challenged them, guided them, and protected them. Now, it was time for the final chapter of their exploration, a chapter that could change the way humans saw themselves and the universe around them. Mara smiled with determination. The adventure was far from over, but humanity had proven it was ready for whatever lay ahead. The ocean was calm and golden as Mara and her team prepared for their final dive. The previous discoveries had amazed them, and the rising threat had tested their courage and teamwork. Now, the temple awaited them one last time. The central chamber promised secrets that could change humanity's understanding of life, the universe, and themselves. Are we ready? Mara asked, her voice steady. Yes, Leo said. All systems are stable. We can dive deeper than ever before. Lena adjusted her cameras carefully. Every detail will be recorded. This is history in the making. Mara nodded. The temple has guided us so far. Today, we unlock its final mysteries. We must remain focused, calm, and work together. The submarine descended smoothly. Outside, the water darkened, but the glowing symbols at the temple's entrance grew brighter as they approached. Tiny glowing creatures swam alongside the vessel, moving in patterns that seemed to guide the team deeper into the structure. This is it, Mara whispered. The temple is ready for us. As they entered the central chamber, the Guardian stood at its usual position near the platform. Its glowing eyes watched them closely, calm but alert. Mara felt a sense of respect for the massive figure. The Guardian had been their guide, tester, and protector throughout this journey. The platform at the center glowed with soft light, and the floating tablet pulsed with knowledge. The symbols on its surface shifted rapidly, forming images and maps that filled the chamber with energy. Mara realized that this was the temple's ultimate message. It is showing us everything, Mara said. The rise of life, the balance of energy, the growth of civilizations. This is the core knowledge of the builders. Lena's eyes widened as she filmed the projections. This is beyond imagination. It is a guide to life, growth, and understanding across the universe. Mara studied the symbols. The temple is teaching us responsibility. Knowledge is not just for discovery. It is for protecting, guiding, and creating. The builders trusted humans to learn, to grow, and to act wisely. Suddenly, the glowing symbols formed a path leading to a small chamber beyond the platform. Mara guided the submarine carefully toward it. The walls were covered with carvings of stars, planets, and strange machinery. Symbols shifted as the team approached, forming patterns that seemed to communicate directly with them. This is incredible, Mara said. The temple is showing us the way to explore the universe, not just understand it. The chamber ahead contained a spherical object hovering above the floor. Light radiated from it in all directions. Mara realized this was the heart of the temple, the source of its knowledge and energy. She felt a wave of awe. "This must be the final secret," Mara whispered. "It holds the knowledge of the builders and their understanding of life itself." Leo carefully maneuvered the submarine closer. The light from the sphere illuminated the walls, showing patterns that pulsed in rhythm with the energy of the temple. Mara felt a connection, as if the builders were communicating with them through the energy. "They trusted us to understand this," Mara said softly. "We must be careful and wise." The Guardian extended its massive hands toward the sphere. Light flowed between the Guardian and the object, and the symbols on the walls brightened. Mara realized that the temple was now fully alive, responding to their presence and to their actions. The symbols formed a clear sequence, showing humans as a part of a larger cosmic story. Life on Earth was connected to other civilizations, to energy, and to knowledge that spanned the universe. Mara could see the potential for humanity to join this network of intelligent life, if they were ready. "The builders left this for us," Mara said. "They believed humans could rise to the challenge. We have proven ourselves through courage, intelligence, and teamwork. Now, they are showing us our place in the universe." Lena looked at the projections with wonder. "This is a call to explore, learn, and grow. Humanity has never seen anything like this." Mara reached toward the sphere. The light responded to her presence, forming symbols that guided her movements. She realized that the temple required understanding and respect, not force. With careful observation and thought, she activated a sequence that caused the sphere to project a map of life and energy across the stars. "This is the ultimate knowledge," Mara said. "The builders trusted us to receive it, to share it, and to act wisely with it." Leo nodded. "It is amazing. We are part of something much larger than ourselves. We are connected to life across the universe." The Guardian remained near the platform, its eyes glowing softly. Mara felt a deep sense of gratitude. The temple and its Guardian had guided them, tested them, and now shared the ultimate secrets. Humanity had proven it could rise to the challenge. As the team recorded the final projections, Mara realized the true lesson of the temple. Knowledge alone was not enough. Courage, intelligence, patience, and teamwork were equally important. The builders had created a path that tested all these qualities, preparing humanity for a future among the stars. Hours passed as they studied, recorded, and learned. Mara felt a sense of completion, but also anticipation. The temple had revealed its ultimate secrets, but the journey was just beginning. Humanity had been called to rise, to explore, and to act responsibly. As the submarine prepared to ascend, Mara looked at the glowing sphere and the Guardian. "We have learned much, and we have proven ourselves," she said quietly. "The temple's lessons will guide us. We are ready to meet the future it has prepared for us." The submarine slowly rose toward the ocean's surface. Outside, the water was calm, reflecting the colors of the setting sun. Mara felt awe and pride. The temple had shared its knowledge, tested their courage, and guided them to understanding. Humanity had risen to the challenge. "Tomorrow," Mara said quietly, "we return to the surface with everything we have learned. The world must know about this. Humanity has a new path, and it is full of hope, knowledge, and adventure." The sun reflected on the waves, golden and calm. Beneath the water, the temple glowed softly, patient and wise. The Guardian returned to its watchful position, calm and protective. The temple had shared its secrets, but it remained a place of mystery and learning. Mara looked toward the horizon, feeling a deep connection to the builders, the Guardian, and the ocean itself. Humanity had taken its first real step into a larger universe. The lessons of courage, teamwork, intelligence, and respect for knowledge would guide them in the days to come. The ocean shimmered with life above the temple, but below, the ancient structure pulsed with energy, waiting patiently for those ready to rise. Mara knew that humanity had answered its call. The adventure was far from over, but humans were now ready to explore, learn, and meet the wonders that awaited them beyond the stars. Mara smiled, feeling a mixture of awe and hope. The temple had taught them that knowledge was a gift, courage was essential, and humanity could rise to any challenge. The journey had begun, and the universe was waiting.